All right, so today I want to show you how to use our social media marketing app. Okay, this is an app that will auto-generate the blog post that we publish, which is an RSS feed. It's also called an RSS feed. It's part of every website and blog, and that's the address that we put in for it to find the newest posts and to import them automatically for us into this program. Okay, and when we're waiting for these blog posts to show up, or I should say, when will they show up? Okay, so if you publish an article on the blog, it will then immediately see it and import it automatically. It's like a watchdog. It's watching for the next post to be posted. And as soon as it does, boom, it grabs it and it brings it in for you. Okay? Then you're going to get a notification that says this was imported and it needs your attention or something of that nature. Basically, there's an article waiting for you to review and publish. So this is how you're going to see the article once it's imported from the RSS stream. And what we need to do at this point, instead of just going and publishing it, is we need to do a little bit of cleanup. And so on the left-hand side here, you can see all the different social media channels available for this specific profile. And different customers will have different channels that they use or want to use for specific posts. So in this case, this specific post, I want to be published on the ones that are checked, okay? And when I check these, or they should be checked automatically, okay? When I set up the actual, it's called Smart Publishing. Once I set up the Smart Publishing, it's going to import it and automatically select these specific channels for me because that's how I set it up. I can change it now at this point. Once it's here, I can say, you know what, I decide I don't want it to go to LinkedIn streamer channel, or I do want to add that in there. And same thing with like Pinterest. If I want to add Pinterest in there, I can check it on or turn it back off. So you shouldn't have to mess with any of these. These are going to be the defaults that we use. And you'll see them also reflected up here in the top menu bar. Okay, so all the ones, even grayed out ones, are the ones that are available for us to set up and to import if we have them and we want to use them. Okay, the ones that are colored are the ones we are actually using. That's the checked ones over here on the left-hand side. Now, the post, it's going to grab a blurb or a little section of your article and import it into this Your Post box. So as you can see over here, this is what it looks like if it was going to be sent out on the Facebook post. Okay, if I change it to Instagram, it's going to show me the preview of what it looks like on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Okay, so each one has their own options, this customization section on the opposite side of it, that we will be able to look at and edit according to each social media post. And they can all be different, or they can all be the same. So what we want to do is we want to edit if it needs it, okay? And the way to tell if it needs it is look at it and is it hard to read? And right now, looking at it, it is hard to read, okay? All the lines are jumbled together. There's no spaces in between. It's just like one big blurb. And it's a little hard to read, and most people will see that, and unless they got time, if they have the time to sit there and read it, or they really want to read and not miss any of your posts, they might read it. But if we space it apart a little bit more in between the important information, more like skinny paragraphs in our blog article, make it to be 1 to 2 sentences each, it'll be a lot easier for them to glance quickly at it and catch information and decide if they want to click on it and read the entire article. And that's our goal, is we want them to click on it and read the entire article. So again, you can do that for each channel. And each one of these customized sections here on the right-hand side for each social media post can be customized specifically for that one. So if I click it, I'm going to customize this one. It's going to be different now than the Facebook one. However, if I choose this section here where it says your post, it's going to change all of the customized boxes for every one that I have enabled at the same time. So that means I only have to do it less times because there's less channels. I'll do it one time here and it'll update, what do we got, 5 on, it'll update 5 posts at the same time instantly. Okay. The only thing then we'll have to do is customize the selection boxes below and possibly some of these over here as well. So this is like the default for all posts, this section. This is for each individual channel of social media. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and start. We'll start from the top and work our way to the bottom. You can also see down here another area of it showing what selected profiles again are checked and shown here. So let's go to the top. Let's read the title. It should be exactly the same title as we published on our blog. And let's just go through and read it and see if it added any extra information or if it ran 2 sentences together, kind of taking away from our title. And it looks like it did. One stream live review. And if you wanted to verify what this looks like, you could just copy this link because it brings in the link to the actual, to the blog article. We could just copy that, open up a new browser tab, paste it in there, and then just take a look real quick and see what it actually looks like on our blog and what the title really should be, what was published. And there you can see it. So one stream, a game changer to live streaming. That should be the title. And so when we come here, we can see it. Then it added the name of the blog and what the blog is about. So we can space this apart, just click where the mouse needs to go, space it apart, and then we can see just the title by itself, making it a little easier for people to read. You can also see down here that it actually put the title down here at the bottom, so maybe that's duplicate information that we don't need to say again and waste the valuable character count that we have allowed for each of these different social media channels. So you can see Twitter is actually a negative 450. That means we are 450 characters too long for Twitter. As you know, Twitter and X, they have a small limit on what you can write and what you can't write. The other channels are a little bit larger and they allow for more characters. So usually it's Twitter is the one that you have to go over here to the right-hand side and customize after you've customized the actual default one for all the rest of the channels. So I always start here on the left-hand side under your post. And like I said, if we were to delete this, okay, you can see it still has the name of the title of the blog article. So that's good. We can now save those characters. Now the only other thing here is our leadership tool and our title basically to the blog. So we can move that back up and we can now space these apart and see how that looks in the post. So now we can see, oh, we have the name of the title of the blog up here. And now we have the title again here. Do we need it 2 times? Probably not. So in this case, we can actually remove that as well. Okay, now we're saving those characters. Now we really just need to space out these paragraphs a little bit to make it a little easier to read. So to do that, I'm going to just quickly read through here and make sure that Yep, and we can see three little dots here at the end of that sentence, and that's really that hook that we've created in our blog post to get people to read it and to keep reading it, right? We don't worry. Well, I'm not going to worry about these underlines here from Grammarly. We've already published the post, so we don't want to change it again in this case. If it maybe it was a news article or something that we didn't actually publish ourselves, we might want to customize the intro of our blog post. But in this case, I'll just leave those alone. I'll finish reading. Make sure that all the information here is required. In this case, it says the post was originally posted on the blog of Kevin Scalero, MBA, the leadership blog, okay? And is written by Kevin Scalero, MBA. And then it's got some hashtags. So we can actually space those hashtags apart. Basically, again, put a few spaces there. Now it does color them, so they do appear a little different. So maybe we don't need to actually put that extra space there. Maybe we're going to just add it to a new line of its own. That way it's still visible, still easy to read, and it's not taken away from these little second paragraph of information here, which really just says that it was published originally by and who. So if anybody wanted to know where the original came from, they could follow the link and find it. Now, is that actually necessary? Maybe for some channels, maybe not. But we'll go ahead and leave it for now since we have space to spare with most all of our channels. The only one we have to worry about is the Twitter, and we can customize the Twitter section over here and remove some words to get it within the limits. So I'm going to go down to the rest here. Let's look. We definitely want the link. We want to test the link. So we actually did copy and paste it already and opened it up in a new tab. We see it does work. It is accurate. That is good. That is what we're doing here is we're verifying information. We are beautifying the information to make it easier to read, easier on the eyes, easier to catch a glimpse of and scan quickly and decide if they want to click on it to read the entire thing. So again, we can see another little blurb of it from here. There's a shortening script already added to it. So it's really going to not actually publish this big long URL. It's actually going to put a shortened version of its own that links to this one behind the scenes. Okay, so people won't actually see that big long URL unless they click on it to go view it. Okay, the rest of everything down here, let's scroll down a little bit more. We just have one more section here. We're not going to touch any of this stuff in here. All we're doing is verifying the view and checking the URL. And the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to add what type of post this is. So is it a individual post, meaning did we custom create this? No, we did not. Is it industry news? No, it is not. It is actually a RSS feed. In this case, I can't see it. There we go. Scroll down with the mouse. It's not a sales and advertisement. It's actually coming from our RSS feed. So we just want to add that label on there so we internally can sort and find our articles a little easier once they're published. Okay, that's all we have to do on this side. We're looking at the preview now here for Facebook. Looks good. Again, you can see it here a little bit bigger. And now we can just customize the section here for Facebook. Now, generally, the only thing that we need to do is the call to action for Facebook. And I like to go ahead and just select the Learn More. We don't really have any other call to actions that we want to do for our blog article. We just want them to read it, and there's not really one that says read. It's really just learn more, unless they've added it. Yeah, I don't see. So that's really the only one we have to put on there. Send reminder notifications. No, we'll say go ahead and auto publish, and we want to publish it as an article. So those are really the only two we're going to change for Facebook. Now we're going to click on the Instagram icon. It will auto save what we did for Facebook. Again, we're just going to glance real quick here at it. Again, here it looks like the actual hashtags are a little bit harder to read. So maybe it does need actually a space in between. We can go back and check on Facebook again, see what that looks like. It still looks clean and okay there. So here, it's just the color blue is a little bit darker, almost the black color. So I think separating it makes more sense. We don't need to edit the media. That would be the picture. We don't need to add anything. Again, we're going to set to auto publish. We're going to publish it as a feed post. That's fine. Comments, comment enabled. Yep, everything else is okay for this one. Now we'll go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has two different channels, the personal profile for the account and the business page for the account. So we're going to publish it to both of these. Again, we're going to take a look at what it looks like. Looks clean up here. I'm going to come down. Okay, again, we don't need to edit the media. We're going to auto publish. Post comments, we don't want to add, that's just if you want to add comments first, if you want to put the first comment or something. We don't want to publish it as an image, we want to publish it as a document file like it is. So we're auto create the first like. These are on by default. Geo targeting, language targeting is English, that's fine. And then select a boost if we're boosting the ad for, say, ad spin inside of the platform, which we are not. So this one looks good as well. If you made any changes to this post, you could also copy them to the other post by choosing apply to all LinkedIn profiles, and then it would put the same settings, whatever I changed here on this page, it'll automatically save it the same so I don't have to do it again. So I'll click on that, choose auto apply, excuse me, and then we will go on to the next one, which is Twitter. And Twitter is long. You can see 580 out of 280 allowed. So we need to downsize this text. Now remember, this is only going to affect the Twitter post, not any of the other posts. And then as far as the bottom section here, everyone can reply. All of these settings are exactly how they should be. Select a device and set a reminder. No, we want to auto publish. And as far as comments, we don't want to publish a comment. We don't want to edit the media. So really it's just the text here that we're going to modify. So I don't think we need to have this information down at the bottom. It's not real relevant. And as far as the character spacing, we can kind of remove as many as possible, maybe put a space in between those two. We're still almost 200 words over, so now we just need to edit down the text a little bit more to make it a little catchy and kind of cut it off where we need to. So let's take a look here. We'll leave the hashtags and we'll focus on removing some of this other verbiage in here. So let's go ahead and just see how much we can remove and still make it as a catchy intro for the post. So imagine being able to schedule your own live stream up to 60 days in advance. Upload videos directly from Google Drive, Dropbox. That seems pretty good. Let's read the top part. In the world of live streaming, OneStream Live stands out as a game changer. This cloud-based live streaming platform lets you go with pre-recorded videos on multiple social media platforms and web simultaneously. Oy. I don't know which one is stronger here. If it's the second paragraph, or second sentence seems a little bit better, but there's some key information in here that I might be interested in if I was a live streamer. So cloud-based live streaming platform lets you go live with pre-recorded videos on multiple social platforms simultaneously. I don't think we need to put cloud-based. This platform maybe. Let's see if we can edit it down just a little bit. We're still a little bit long here. Um, let's see. Imagine being able to live stream up to 60 days in advance, upload your videos. Maybe we take off that. That's not important where they're coming from, just being able to upload them. But we do need to have those three little dots at the end of that sentence so it appears that there is more information. Not there, there, okay. And a little space in between the hashtags so that it's not all runs together. It looks like we're still a little bit long, so maybe we will have to get rid of this in part. Let's get rid of up to 60 days. Still a few more characters there that we need to get rid of. So let's just go ahead and get rid of all of this, I guess. Now it doesn't make sense by itself anyways. And that actually puts us into the limits and still makes some sense of what's happening here with the article. So let's read it one more time, make sure again it's still pretty close to the default that was imported and still catchy enough for somebody to click on. So in the world of live streaming, OneStream Live stands out as a game changer. This platform lets you go live with pre-recorded videos on multiple social platforms and the web simultaneously. I think that's a great, catchy headline, and we'll go ahead and just leave it at that. We are in the limits. Everything looks great here. If you wanted to, you could probably space out the hashtag a little bit to separate. Still only puts us at 261. You could even put another space. It still puts us within the limits. It just doesn't make sense over here. Maybe we even want to space out this sentence so it's not quite so cluttered up here. That still looks good. We are still in our limits and things look pretty clean. So I'm going to try one more time putting the hashtags next to it. I guess separated is fine. If you have the space to do it, I think it's better to separate them just a little bit. All right, and then the last one here we'll go into is, and you'll see over here, it gave us a little notification. It says caption for Twitter was changed and needs to be managed from over here on the right. So that means from now on, if you wanted to change Twitter and all the other posts, if you tried changing it from here, everything would update except Twitter because we modified and customized the Twitter box here. This one will no longer work for the default, won't work anymore for Twitter, only the ones that were not customized. All right, and then for Google, we'll go ahead and look at this one. It looks like we need to space some stuff apart. It looks pretty cluttered up here in this top. So if let's put a space here again like we did with Twitter. Space them apart, maybe even this one. Here, make it a little easier to read. We're still way within the limits for the character count. It looks a lot cleaner here. It doesn't show the image for us in the OneStream. We got the standard post, that's fine. Learn more is fine. Publish as an image, no. And click to edit media. So we could try to see if we can find another image since this one did not get imported. So we can click on this, then we can click the camera button. It'll go into and ask us, do we want to upload it from the computer, our URL library, or choose from a library, or even discover a new one. Okay, so this is going to be just custom for Google since it didn't come in, Google Business, since it didn't come in, we want to put an image. People like images, people like videos. it gets their attention. So I'm going to choose Discover and see what I can find. Okay, and I'm going to put some keywords here. Let's put live stream and hit enter, see what comes up. Oh, look at that. There's the same picture. Perfect. So let's go ahead and just select it. If I couldn't find it, I would have chosen another one. I might even look in the Giphy to change. And you could even do this possibly with the blog titles from the other channels as well. People prefer videos, and they usually click on things that have videos over an actual image. So if we could find a catchy picture that works for the post that we're doing, then we could choose that picture. In this case, I don't see anything. Maybe here we go live. That's catchy. We can even change the way we spelled. Let's put live stream together. See if anything different comes up. You're invited. That's intriguing. That pulls people to what am I invited to? So we can find again something that has to do with live streaming. So I think either this one you're invited works if we space it apart and we search again. Uh, we go live, or even checking the other channels like Pexels and seeing what comes up for Pexels. And you can see a few more live streamer type pictures, which fits the article. And in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and choose the live stream one that we used before. And so let's make sure it's checked with that little blue check mark and click upload. And that will bring it into our post. And now we can see it displayed here on Google Business. And it gives us another message that says captions and media for Twitter and Google Business were changed. So now they need to be managed on the right. Or you could reset all customizations to be default again. I'm happy with that. I think it's okay. We know it's changed because we changed it, right? The other icons in here are just a shortcut if we need to add any more customization. This one right here is if you want to have the built-in AI writer write for you. You can give it a little bit of instruction, highlight it, and click on that, and that will write something for you that's within parameters. Same thing with the custom for each custom channel. I think we're fine here for this one. This works better, I think, when we're creating custom posts that are not our blog articles and they're not the news articles that come in also and get pulled into the platform, which you'll see as well, and I'll show you. And they also need to be customized because the information sometimes gets cluttered and we need to space it apart. So really, as you can see, we really didn't put in too much work here. It was really just going through each channel, verifying the information here, spacing it out, and then checking the character count, checking the link, adding the tag RSS feed, and then going through and reviewing each post and checking the comments or the customization section. And really, as you saw, there was only two that we had to change, and that was the one for the auto publish, the learn more on Facebook. Twitter was only the auto publish. Same thing with LinkedIn 1 and LinkedIn 2. Twitter, we had to do a little bit of editing on the text and auto publish. And then Google Business, again, we customized, we put a few spaces in, and for some reason the picture didn't get transferred into Google Business, which it does usually, and that was the only thing we had to add in this situation. Once we finish with all this, really what we need to do is come down here and click Continue. That's going to process it. It's going to ask us now, when do we want to schedule this post to be um, onto our actual channel for each of those different social media channels. So you can again see them all up here at the top. You can see them all at the top here. And this is our calendar of what's currently scheduled. And so let's try to space them out. So if we have, 4 or 5 things that we need to publish in one day, for our profile, which is the one that we're working on now, each profile is going to have their own calendar. And for this profile, we want to just try to space it out because some days we don't have but maybe one post, maybe we don't have any post published, maybe we have 3 or 4 posts published. So just try to space it out a little bit. If you notice more than say 2 per day, try pushing the other one to the next day. And then again, the next day, if you have 2 more, then just keep pushing. Eventually, you're probably going to find a day where only 1 gets published, and then you'll be caught up. If you get to the point where there's just way too many that you're continuously pushing, let me know. We can make some arrangements and talk about when we want to publish those. All right. So now, first of all, we need to choose the day. As you can see right now, it's on the 30th highlighted, which is today. Up here, the date does not say the 30th. It says March 3rd. So we need to change that date to be the right date, April 30th. Okay, now we can see all of our posts populated in here for all the channels. And you can see it says there's 6 total, but it's only showing us 4 because they can't fit them all in this little box with the view that we have enabled. Which is okay because we know they're all the same posts. We just finished them all. We don't need to see them all in the calendar. And you can see the little Google symbol, the Twitter symbol, the Facebook, etc. So really what's important now at this point is making sure we're on the right day and which time we want to publish each article on each channel. So that's the hard part generally, okay? Really the fastest way to do it is say show optimal times. And then it's going to show an optimal time for all the different channels at the same time. So out of that, it's calculating and showing you the little bar graph of when the busiest time is for all the selected channels. So in this case, that makes it easier for us and faster for us to just post these. So if we know we have 1 or 2 posts to approve in the day, we can pick the first one for the first time and then the second one for the second post. And if we had a third one, maybe even the third time for these 3 busy times. If there's nothing available left in the day, maybe it's late in the day when you're checking it, maybe it's 9 or 10 p.m. at night, and you say, well, I don't think anybody's going to be looking at this. Again, this is Eastern Standard Time that it's looking at. So it may be different than the time that you're in, actually. So if it's 10 p.m. your time, it may not be 10 p.m. in Eastern. So this is showing you the Eastern times. And you can do a calculation and find out the difference in the time zones so you know how many hours in advance or behind you actually are. And then you can choose the optimal time. If there's nothing left in the day, go ahead and choose the next day, okay? If you choose the day before, like the 29th, it's going to say error, and you can't do it. Now, if you wanted to just go through and look at, I guess, individual posts for each one, you could say right here, you could click on Schedule Profiles Individually. And then what would happen is it would show you one of these bar graphs for each channel, and then you could get really specific on the best times for each channel. So for now, don't worry about that. For now, let's just go ahead as a group, make this quick and fast. Down the road when we start doing more social media and we start reading our reports and seeing what's working, what's not, where our viewers are coming from, we can then streamline this a little bit more by making sure we broadcast and publish that message for each channel specifically based on the best time that our readers are looking at that channel. Okay, so for right now, this is going to be the new one. I'm going to look at my time right now. Looks like I might catch it here. It's 1:34. This says 1:40, so I'm going to select 1:40. Okay, check it. 30th, 1:40 p.m. Eastern. Oh, wait a minute. As I remember, I'm not in Eastern time. So I need to calculate what is actually Eastern time. In my situation right now, I'm 1 hour ahead of Eastern time. So actually, I have an hour and 6 minutes, not 6 minutes. So be sure you're calculating based on your time zones. Okay, so either way, this 140 still works for our target market. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule that. And then from here, I can click schedule. If you were to click the little box here, it gives you a few other options. If you wanted to basically duplicate that post and do another one that's very similar to it, you could. Or if you want to schedule a new post and maybe you got some custom posts you want to do, you could do that. In this case, we don't have any of that. Again, this is just a blog post. There's nothing special about it. We don't want to duplicate it. So we're going to just go ahead and click schedule. Okay, that's going to go through. It's going to schedule all those posts for the channel. And up here in the top, we get a message that just says that our post was published and scheduled. And so now if we were to look at the calendar, which I'm on right now, the calendar, I can see different views up here. This is my calendar view. So do I want to see a monthly, a weekly, a daily? Do I want to see it looking like a regular calendar or a list? And do I want to refresh it or change the settings? I also have over here, based on the time zones of the publishing, I can search for specific articles if I know the title or a keyword and I want to sift through all of these different articles and find it quickly. You also have these filters which help you to filter specific posts. In this case, you can see I only am looking at drafts and nothing else. However, I could also put users. If there was 2 or 3 users, you could do it by user name, who published what, or who's has pending things to publish, etc. For right now, we'll keep it simple. We're just looking at drafts, so that means everything here has not gone out. They are still in the draft mode. And these are all news articles, as you can see. There's the little channels over here, and there's no green dot. It's a gray dot. That just means it hasn't been published. It is currently in draft mode. So all of these different articles that you're seeing right now, these are not actually blog articles. These are actually news articles that we have chosen to review and decide, do they fit our audience? And if they do, then we can clean them up and publish them. And again, they come in daily, so we'll want to keep on top of that. Otherwise, like you can see here, there's a list of a lot of different articles that basically got overlooked. Either they didn't fit, we didn't want them, we didn't have time for them, we missed them, we still need to do them. Something is preventing these from going out into the market. And so I like to also publish a news article, especially if we only have maybe one blog article that was published in the day, to keep our audiences engaged. Give them maybe one in the morning or one in the afternoon, one in the evening, so at least 2 minimum per day. And since I just posted one, I'm going to go ahead now and post a news article. And again, I'm just going to kind of work through it, figure out which one that I want. In this case, I can start from oldest to newest, and the oldest ones are up here at the very top, and the newest ones are at the bottom. And I can just read it and see that does this fit what I want. In this case, it's talking about computer technology, update South Korea, thermostats, utility bills. Don't really fit our profile too much here. Leaders of the city here, no, doesn't really match what we want. WhatsApp versus, I'm not sure what this icon is. The greatest app of all time, March Madness. It's interesting. A lot of people use chat programs. So that might be something good, but it's past March already, so it's kind of old, so may not get any clicks. This was a custom one that I had created as an advertisement that we will consider sending out. But right now I'm going to focus on a news article. That was a custom post. Here's another one, 2 packs of speakers, technology stuff again. I'm not finding anything, and that's probably why these are all still sitting here. Rest in peace, RIP Apple's most important MacBook. A lot of people use computers now. That could be something that that we can consider. That one, even maybe the top computer one that we saw at the very top. Um, Cedar Fair, shareholders, not really. What is this? Meta. Meta confirms widespread Instagram threads, Facebook outage. That's probably going to get a lot of people's attention right there. So I think that might be one that we can consider. So let's go ahead and check on this one. If you didn't get the email and you don't have the notification that says, hey, your attention is needed to review this article and publish it, you'll find it here on your monthly or weekly calendar board. You can just click on these 3 little dots up here at the top right hand corner, choose to view that post. Go ahead and look at it. And same thing that we did with the blog post article, we just want to review and do those few custom things to each of those post channels to make it easy to read. So again, I'm going to start at the bottom here. I'm going to choose news. Again, a little hard to choose sometimes with the scroll box. Everything else here looks good. Again, we're going to test this link. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. And let's just see, does it work? Yep, it goes to an article, so it's all good, still active. And the custom section up here, Meta confirms widespread of the outage. Let's go ahead and space that apart. We have our hashtags in there, and then it puts the URL up here, which we don't want. We do see the URL down here. They will still get the URL by clicking on the link here. So I'm going to get rid of that, and we'll leave this just to have the title, who posted that, and then if they want to click on it, they can click on it here. You can see my mouse looks like a link button, and it should allow them to click on the article and actually see it, even though that just did it with the picture only. All right, so everything else looks good here. If we needed to customize our hashtags, we could click here. We do have a preset in here already. There are hashtag suggestions if you wanted to search for keywords. In this case, we don't. Everything's quick and easy. We don't really need to do too much here. Again, let's check it on this side over here for all the channels. Publish as an article, yes, or publish as a story. No, we want to always publish it as an article. Auto publish is on. We really need the call to action, so let's go ahead and add that call to action, learn more. Oop, not interested, learn more. And it puts that little button right here for them to click on, kind of giving them that call to action. We really don't need to do anything else. On this one, let's go to Instagram, looks good. Publish as feed posts, yep, everything looks good there. LinkedIn also looks good. Auto publish, no, everything's default here. Should be the exact same for this one. It is. Twitter looks good. Auto publish, create first like, everything's good. And Google looks good. Again, image is missing here. So we could add as an image. If we chose to publish as an image here, it will bring it on as an image for the Google. So I think that's fine in this case. So we can go ahead and click on continue. Again, if you clicked here, you have a few changes or different options like removing the post, duplicating, saving, continue and queue, continue and edit, or continue and publish now. In this case, we can just click on the basic button. We don't need to do anything special. And now we just need to choose the date. Again, today is going to be the 30th, so we'll change that. We'll find the optimal time. Since we already chose the 140 bracket, now we can choose either the next largest one, and it looks like maybe the 713 one might be, but they're pretty close to each other here, so either one of those is probably a good option, and we'll choose that. And now you can see it says 12 because there were 6 channels that were published from the blog article and another 6 articles from the news article, totaling up 12. So we'll go ahead and just publish that. And just like we did with the blog article, and now it is completed. So if you wanted to find, articles that were published or failed or anything other than draft, you could uncheck draft and maybe pick published, and then you can see only the published articles, and at the very top is the oldest one, down at the bottom is the newest one. And since the other ones weren't published yet, we don't see them in the list yet. So as soon as they're published, they will go to the list. Maybe we can say if there's one that says processing versus published, I don't see anything, and or nothing. If anything needed to be reviewed by you, you could click that in review, and only the reviewed articles would be listed here for you. So if your name is assigned specifically to an article, you will see it here by filtering it, and that way you don't have to see all that other clutter of all the other articles that are there. So I would say pay attention to draft, failed, published, and where was the other one at? In review. Okay, so those would be the ones you would need to pay attention to. Maybe even the other ones. If you want, you can just uncheck everything and see everything here, and it will show basically everything to you, for you. So now, going back over here, the only thing you need to be concerned with on the left-hand side is the calendar and the dashboard. So if we look at the dashboard, it's really just going to go through and show us what was posted, so recent posts. It's going to show all the recent posts down here, and what's scheduled to be published. And you can see those are listed here, which are the 2 we just finished. And if you wanted to view the calendar of that, you could see that as well. Over here on the right, you also have today's activity, how many scheduled posts, how many were published, and then if anything needs your attention, you'll see it here. If there's any problems with the profile, any rejected posts, any failed posts, failed boosts, billing issues, all that would appear here. And if you had a failed post, you could click on that and it would take you to the failed post, and then you could click on those 3 little dots up in the top right hand corner again and go to the post, edit it, and see what's happening, why did it fail, and fix it, and then publish it again. Okay. And then up here in the top is just some helpful videos to help you learn the application. Okay, so if you were scheduling Instagram collaboration posts with the program, you could click here and watch the video. Some of these are blog articles that you can read about when you have things, that again is going to help you. And I'll send you a few other posts. You can click these little buttons here too and see different ones. They have a lot up here for you to look through. But I'll send you a link to the training that the application provides as well, to give you a more in-depth overview and use of the application. And other than that, none of these other menus you need to worry about. I don't think you even have access to the inbox, so I will be answering those, and everything else is yeah, I think it's pretty much out of your hands. So really, it's just being concerned with that calendar. And like I said, you will get a email notification that says you have a new post that needs your attention, so you don't actually have to monitor this application all day, every day. When you see the email, click on the email, it'll take you right to the post, and you'll be able to open that up. And I think I can show you real quick. Yep, here you go. So here's a post, and it says I have one ready to view. I can just click View Post, and it'll take me right to that post. See that? Takes me right to the editing page, and then I can go in and start editing it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay? Thank you.